starting recording. Okay, recording started. I'm sharing my screen now. Share. Okay, there you go. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing the map, right? So we discussed how we create XML map, and then how your XML data can be translated into delimited file format, CSV format, right? So we learn how we can deal with these two formats, right? Today we are going to look into something which is very important, important from the implementation point of view as well as from the interview standpoint, something we call the standard rule, right? So first we look into standard rules, and if we have some time, then we look into extended rules. Okay, and extended rule is has a lot of things to discuss, and it's a quite lengthy topic. So we will figure out how we're going to deal with that. Okay, so let's first look into the standard rules. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes, JP.
You're able to, okay, you can see my screen, right? Mani, I mean, Kishore, you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes, JP. Yeah.
Perfect. Let me see if my SI is running or not. This is the problem. So I have to stop and start again. And that may not work. Okay, actually I have to restart my this thing, virtual machine. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so system is SI is still starting, so let's but we can start our discussion. Okay, so view extend all and entire map. So this is our map that we created yesterday. Okay, now we are going to discuss standard rules. Okay, so in yesterday's session, everyone can see my screen, right? Right now, the map
Yes,
actually
JP.
is open. Okay,
Hmm.
so in yesterday's session, we understand that how we can create the structure in XML and how we can create the structure in the CSV file, right? Similarly, a structure can be created in other formats as well, right? That we're going to discuss in our future sessions, right? And then we understand that how we can link input fields to the output field, right? But this is a simple mapping, one-to-one mapping or one-to-many mapping, right? You can just drag and drop your pointers to map the input side with the output side, right? But in real world, you're going to have very complicated scenarios, right? When you will particularly deal with the mapping, right? You will have definitely simple scenarios, but you will encounter some complicated scenarios as well, okay? Where direct one-to-one mapping may not help, right? You may have to do some tests, right? You may have to you will require to get some value from the process data. You will have some scenario to get some value, right, from your map, right, and then place it in the process data so that you use it some other time, right? or you may have a scenario where you need to get the current timestamp, right? So I mean, things like that. A lot of things you're going to or different scenario you will encounter when you will when you will do mapping instead of simple mapping your input field with the output field, right? So to handle those complex scenarios, we have two methods, right? The first is standard rule, and the other is extended rule. Okay, first is standard rule, and other is extended rule, right? So standard rule is the simplest one, right? I will not say it even simple, but these are the simplest one, right? So your first approach is like uh, uh, do drag and drop and map the input sides to the output side, right? But if that does not suffice your requirement, then you will go one level up, which where you will be doing the mapping using the standard rule, right? Which is give some facilities to do little bit extra work, right? But even if that is not required, fulfill your requirement, or you want to do more complex logic, or you want to perform more complex logic, right? Where some programming kind of thing is required. You need to do some if, else, for loop, while loop, right? Maybe you want to connect database to get some values, and a lot of iteration in the map, right? You are on the first field, but you want to access the seventh field or the 10th field to get some value, and based on that you want to generate some new value, right? So for that we have extended rule, right? So in extended rule, we write the actually extended rule using a programming language, right? I will not say it is a programming language, but I will say it as a scripting language, right? Programming languages like C, Java, which is, it's not, I never say that Java is hard or complex. This is very simple, but it has its own length, right? So, but the scripting language that you need to learn to write the extended rule in the map editor is not that lengthy, right? It's a simple few keywords and a few more steps, right? That you need to learn and understand, right? And if you have any background of any sort of programming, you can quickly catch that. Okay, so let's start our discussion with the standard rule. Okay, so
JP, one more question here. Actually, we are making a simple link, right? One to one. How can we do one to many? Is there any like
do it. Simple, select here. I'll link it here again. Right. You want to do one more time? Sorry?
I think it will not give an like a warning or error.
Actually, it give me error because this price field was linked to this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So no. The problem is you can do one to many, right? You can connect one field with the many field in the output side, right? So suppose you want to assign the value of name in AA field and in price field and SKU field, right? Which is quite possible, right? Right. But what you cannot do is you cannot assign the value of name and price in the price.
Okay.
Right. One bucket or one variable cannot hold the value of two variables.
Okay.
Right. So because my price was linked to the price, and when I connected name to the price element, I got an error or a warning saying that previous link will be removed. Okay. So look at here again. Okay. So now name is connected with the price, right?
Yes.
But I do not want that. Actually, I want my price to connect with the price. This is the warning or the error you got. Okay,
Yes.
the object has already been linked to the input object. This action will replace the original link. Do you want to continue? Yes, I want. Okay,
Yes.
this is what it was. Okay, so okay, so on any field, right, which holds data, remember what I'm saying. Okay, any field which hold data, right, means element. In case of this XML element, which means the PC data, right, or the attributes, you can define the standard rule, right. Standard rules can be defined on the input side as well as on the output side. Okay, if you see, right, you cannot define the standard rule on the looping structures like the record, but again on the output side also you can define the standard rules on the field label. Why you can define on the field label? Because field is the, the component that holds your text data, right? And the standard rule give you options to modify, update, or get some values with the text values only. Okay, so that is the reason that standard rules can apply only on the text values, text component of the map editor, right? Like in case of XML, it is your PC data or the attribute, but in case of the CSV file, it is actually fields. Okay, similarly in other formats as well. So I'm getting some. We are getting some disturbance. Can you mute yourself, Abhishek? Thank you. Right. So here it is. Okay. So this is my name, PC data. Let me define a standard rule here. Okay. So to define a standard rule, what you need to do is you need to right click on the PC data or the text field component, click on the property, right, and then come on the standard rule. Okay, this is the standard rule, right? This is where you will be writing your scripting language that I just now described, right? That we see some other time, but this is the place from where you can configure the standard rules. Okay, if you see in map editor, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 type of standard rules that can be applied on a field. By default, this is none, right? None means no standard rule is applied. Okay, but you can select, update, use system variable, use constant, accumulator, use accumulator, loop count, or the use code. Okay, so what you can do is let's use some of the standard rules. Okay, so let's first use the use code. Okay, use code is a standard rule, right, which can be used, okay, which can be used to define codes. Okay, which can be used to define codes. For example, okay, let's this one. Okay, you have we have an attribute line for the description attribute, right? uh, Where is my input file? Okay, if you see, description tag contain a lang attribute. Okay, so say suppose value of lang will be 2 character. Okay, 2 character language representation means en means English, hi means Hindi, ठीक है, or fn means French, right? So lang will have two language, 2 character language representation, right? But you have a requirement where you need to convert, okay, you need to convert these 2 character into full language or in the complete word. Like if it's en, then it should be converted into English. If it's hi, then it need to be converted into Hindi. If it's fn, then you need to convert into French. Okay, so how you will do this, right? So you need, I mean, here you have a requirement to maintain kind of a database. So and every time you need to do lookup against the database, and for each and every description field or description attribute, right? So every time your map editor work on this lang attribute, right, you actually want to connect to database, right, and get the language, I mean the complete language word from the database for which language code is en or hi, right? That is what your requirement, right? So if you are working on some other programming language, you may have to use the database, right? But in the map editor, you can handle this problem or opportunity with the standard rule and with a particularly use code standard rule. Okay, so in the standard rule, actually we can define this kind of codes and their description. Okay, so you can say, okay, now we will use the use code on this attribute, right? Now to use the use code, we need to define our database, right? This database or this table or the thing that or objects that we are going to define here, it is local to the map and it is stored in the map file itself. Okay, so to define that code, you need to click on edit, right? And table id, you can this will be the name of your collection. Okay, and you can write whatever you want. Okay, so lang description, and then the description can be something whatever makes sense to you. Okay, and then click new. Okay, new is like creating one record in your database. So if it's en, then it's English. If it's hi, then it's Hindi. Hindi. Okay, if it's fn, then it's French. Okay, something like this. Okay, so you can define n number of records like this here in this code list. Okay, click on close. Okay, so once you define the code list, that code list will be available on this drop down. Select it. So if you have multiple, you can select the specific code list that you want to apply on this particular field. Okay, then if and here you have one more option that give you extra facility of validation, right? That says raise a compilation error if the code is not found in the list, right? So value of lang, if the value of lang does not match, right, whatever values you have defined in the table, right, then raise a compilation error, right? If you want to do that, you can select this option, right? And then select this one, right? So this is the on this drop down, on this drop down, right? You have to select the field, right, on which you want to store the complete language word. If it's en, then English, right? In our situation, actually, I want to basically replace en with the English. Where I want to that replacement? In the lang attribute itself, right? So I'm selecting this. But if I want to do this somewhere else, I can select the one of the available field here. Okay, so en will be replaced with the English. Okay, if I click on OK, right? And then eventually that English will go to the description, which is my second last field in the CSV file. Okay, so let me do this. Lang. Okay, so this is what it is. Okay, so this is my report. Report looks good, so no error, which is a good sign. Come over here. See, en is replaced with the English, and here hi is replaced with Hindi, right? So that is your use code standard rule. Okay, guys, any question here?
JP, it is like using
It is like your voice broke completely. Say again.
it is like description using in marketing.
No luck, sir. I'm not able to hear anything. Anyone else can hear him what he's saying, what he want to ask? It's really bad. I could not understand anything.
No, JP, even I can't hear his voice.
Yeah, maybe you can type it if you want.
So, JP, is this the one we discussed earlier, the code list while...
No. That code list is different.
Okay.
That code list defined in SI. Okay, and that actually go in your database somewhere eventually. Okay, and over there, see, you have how many? 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 fields available to store the values, right? This code list is a map code list. Okay, and it gets stored in the map file, .map file or .mxl file itself. It does not go in the database, right? And it's very specific to one map. Okay, values that you will define here in this code list, in the map code list that we just now saw a moment ago, right? These values will not be available or accessible anywhere else except in the map where it is defined. So it's completely different than what we learned previously. SI code list. Okay, if that answers your question.
Yes, JP. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, now let's look at the other standard rule. Then we have loop, count, leave it, use accumulator. We'll see later, use constant. Okay, use constant is I forget that how we use the use constant.
Yes, JP.
Okay. So now we are going to look at the where it is? Use constant rule. Okay. So what is the use constant rule, right? So using the use constant rule, we can define a constant value. Okay. We can define a constant value in the map editor. Okay. A list of constants can be defined in the map editor, right? And which latter can be used in the in your in the map. Okay, so let me show you how it works. Okay, so I will say new id, say suppose name, and the type is string, value is say suppose Mike. Okay, and this that's it. Name is name and the value is Mike. And one remember one more thing: if you applied a standard rule on any field, right, then that field will have this asterisk sign. Okay, so if you see asterisk sign on a map component, then you can understand that it has a standard rule. Okay, now I have this standard rule applied here where it says id name and the type is string, value is Mike. Okay, now let's run this. Right, if you see now, there is no error. Okay, and value of name, I mean, does not matter what is coming in the input file, right? But whatever constant we have applied in that particular field, that will be replaced with the value that what you have in the input field, right? If you see in my XML file, right, so in the first item name is TV, and in the second item my name is mobile. But because I have used the standard rule, right, which is standard rule? Constant, right, which has a value as Mike, right? So because of that, whatever value comes in the name does not matter, but it will always replace with the Mike, because that is the standard rule I have applied on it, which we call the constant. Okay, so that is your constant standard rule. So I mean, these are the simple, but there are few standard rules which is a little bit complicated. right? So, and one of that rule we are going to see now. Okay, say suppose in this item field, item XML, right, which is here. Okay, so this is your item XML, right? It has one date field. Okay, no, say suppose it does not have a date field. Okay, uh, no, actually it will not. It should have a date field, right? Say suppose date. Okay, and the date is something in format. Let me see what all. First, let's define the date field here in the item, inside item. Insert element date, date. Cannot repeat, conditioner or mandatory, whatever you want, we can give here. And the PC data. Or PC data. Gate sub. Yeah, PC data, right? And we want this PC data to be date time. Okay, and field should be, say suppose now here you have to select the date format, right? In which format you will expect the date from the in the input file, right? If it's a ddmmyy, then you can select this. If it's say suppose something like this YYY/mmdd, then you can select this. Say suppose this is our date format. So based on your requirement, you can select the date format here. Okay. So my date should be something like 2018/09/01 date. All right. Click here. Okay. 4. So more than 12. So let's say suppose 15. Maximum length should be 15. Okay. And I want to map this to a field on the output side, which is date. Validation is same. Say suppose the string and the number format is should be okay. 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 So here it is. Compile it. Okay, so here's your date format. I mean the date, right? But right now this date is coming from the input file. Okay, right now this date comes from the input file. Okay, but now say suppose due to some reason, right, your business logic says this date should contain the current value, right? This date should, I mean, or at least this date on the output side, right? When you send the input data, right, to the end system, date field should contain, or which means that date field in the CSV file, right? It should contain the current system date when this message is processed. When this message is processed, or when this file is translated, right? Both are the same thing, right? When this message is processed in SI, it should contain that date. That is the requirement, right? Then what you can do is you can use the standard rule. Okay, standard rule. In standard rule, we have something called the use system variable. Okay, click on the use system variable, right? You will get another drop down. So you need to select current, date, and time. Okay, so your system will assign the current date and time in this format, in this field. Okay, so now let's run this now. Now it says 9/29/2018, right? So September 29, 2019. Do you see this? Both are the current date time, right? But the input has 0901, right? Which is not the case now, because now we are using the standard rule. And which is standard rule? System variable, right? So system variable, we have in using the system variable standard rule, we can find the current date time. Okay, so this is another very useful standard rule which we can use.
Hello, JP.
Yeah.
JP, I want only output of year, not the whole date. Can I get it?
Say again.
So we pass the current date, right?
Right.
In output, I require only the year. So
Only
can we go
only the year.
only year? Yeah, year.
Okay, you just need to select the correct format here. You need only year, right?
Yes.
Select this one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and compile. (2018). Right. So if you need only hours, date, month, you can get those things by using the by specifying the format. Okay.
We can't change the like field output field.
Second.
We can't do in output field. I mean,
Yeah,
like
definitely you can do it in the output side also, right? Actually, in my case, I make the output field as a string type, right?
okay.
So in that case, you make it as date time and specify your date format here.
Okay.
Okay. So obviously, if you select the only YYY, right, then you cannot make it here DD/MM/YY, because you have already, trimmed the information,
Yes.
right? So, but you can do other way around.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now let's move on to the next standard rule. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Use constant, use system. Okay. Now let's look at the select standard rule. Okay. Now next, guys, we have select standard rule. Okay. What is this? If you select in standard rules, okay, we have two more standard rules. Okay, one is called the select and other is called the update. Okay, one is called the select and other is called the update. Okay, guys. Now, what is difference between these two and what is the use of these two? Let's look at now. Okay. So let's first look at the select standard rule. When you select the select standard rule in the first field, right, in the next drop down, you will get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. Okay. These are the 5 tables or the area in the SI map editor, right, or in the SI from which you can fetch the or select the data. This is what it means. Okay. Let's first discuss the process data. Okay. Here you say select process data and then name of value. Okay. Now let's understand this thing first. You run your map, right, in SI. Right, we build our map in map editor, right? But these maps eventually run in the Sterling integrator. Okay. In fact, even now, right, when I am running this, map editor, right? How I'm running this? By selecting this, right? I click on this and then I click on the run tab. What happens? Your map editor send a web service request, okay? And this web service request go to your SI, right? And then what happens? Your .txo file, .map file or MXL file and the input file. These 3 files go to SI, okay, your Sterling integrator. Then in your Sterling integrator, there is a business process, okay, and name of that business process is map test, okay. That business process runs, okay, that business process runs and it has map translation service. Map business process has map translation service inside it, okay. That map translation service is the one that actually run your map, right? It takes the .mxl file, .txo file and your input document and translates it into output, okay. And then your SI send back that output to your map editor that we see here, like in that output file kind of, okay. So point what I'm trying to make here is, say suppose you are running a map in SI. So you will be always running your map in your business process, okay. So it's something like, come on, okay, 1 second. Okay, now it's working. So say suppose you have a map, sorry, you have a BP, Okay, and this BP has one assign statement and then lot of other statements. Okay, and then this is where your step or the service, which is map translation service. Okay, this is guys your map translation service, and then you have other some steps. Okay, now question is, so you have already developed the map and you have checked in that map, and today I will show you how to check in the map in SI. Okay, you have checked in that map, so you the translation service will run, and it will produce the result which will be available in the process data as a primary document for the next steps. So that is the one thing that we already know. Okay, due to some reason, okay, due to some reason, right, say suppose you have a requirement inside the map, right, in your map you want to use a a process data value. Okay, you want to access a value which is available in the process data, or which will be available in the process data when your map will run. Okay, got it? So when your map will run, that value will be available in the process data, right? You want to access that value which is available in the process data in your map. If you want to do that, then you can use the standard rule. Which is standard rule? Select standard rule, and you have to select the process data as a table. Okay, so and you will have this kind of situation when you will develop map. Say suppose you have some service, some custom service which actually connect to your database, and it gets the SSN number or the company ID number or something like that, right? Some critical information in the process data. You have, and this information is available in the process data. Now you have a requirement to get this value in the process data. Why you want to get this value in the process data? Because you want to map it to some value in the output field, right? Or you want to apply some logic on that. Okay, if you want to do that, okay, then you can use this standard rule that I'm going to discuss now. Okay, and before we discuss that, let me show you something. Dashboard. No, not here. Sorry. See, map test. Do you see this? This business process is called. This business process is being called because we are running this map from here. Every time I run this map, right? Every time I test this map from this option, right? This business process gets executed. Okay, click on this. Okay, this is your this is map test service. Actually, this is map translation service, and it's an instance of that service. Okay, if I click here on this step, okay, you will see documents here, translation report, and these are your these values. Right, let me look at here. Document. This is your report actually. So your map has already run on this step. I want to show you something. Okay, This is the value actually that your map editor has sent to SI, right? So this is your somehow TXO, and somewhere you will have your .mxl file as well. Okay, so that TXO is in the binary format, that is why we are not able to read it. And then .map is XML format, that may be this one. Okay, and see, this is where your content is. Okay, this is where your content is. Okay, now say suppose when the map translation service runs, right, I know that I will have this username available in the process data. Okay, I will have this username available in the process data. Now, due to some business requirement, I want to access this value in the map. Okay, so that I use it to map to some output field, or I use it in the my logic. Okay, so how we will do this? So if you want to do this, if you have some requirement like this, then you click on this, go to standard rule, click on the select. Okay, click on process data and select here user name. Okay, so your select process will run, and the select process will run against the process data. From the process data, it will select the username value of the username. Okay, that value will be stored, that selected values. Okay, value of the username, the value of the username is admin. Okay, this admin will be selected or will be stored in the XPath result. Okay guys, it will be available in the XPath result. Okay, and then I want, actually if I want to access that in the map, I have to store it somewhere in the one of the map field or some variable. Okay, so I want to store it in the SKU. Okay, I want to store that in SKU. Okay, so value of that username will come in the XPath result set, and then eventually it will come in the SKU. Okay, sorry. Okay, so and that value I should able to see in the SKU field, which is third field from the start. Nothing come. Okay, hold on, let me see what's the matter. SKU there, SKU there. Process data, select. Why? Should work. Not working. And oh. This is integer type, and it should be actually should work. It works on the string type. I believe. Okay, yeah, that was the problem actually. So that was a string, so I think it was not able to convert it. String. Okay. Let me type now. See, admin. So this admin has come from process data, right? So if in your map editor, if in your map you want to access some value from the process data, then you can use the standard rule. Okay. Is that okay?
Yes, JP.
Okay. Now, select standard rule give us option to select the value from the process data. Similarly, it also give us option to select the values. Okay, select the values from the code list. Right now, this time, this code list means SI code list. Okay, this time, this code list means SI code list. Okay, so if you remember, sender, let's say sender. If you remember, let me show you how it works. Okay, now say suppose, okay, actually, I have to do one more thing. Actually, these standard rules work on one record. Okay, and in XML, this one field is called as one record. So what I'm going to do is I will create some record here, which is attribute. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3. These are the attributes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 attributes. Okay. And to show you, I have to map these values to some values here. Okay, so I will not take 6 here. Let me take 3 or 4. Okay. Test 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So suppose this is the situation, and my situation says based on the values. Okay, listen carefully. Based on the values of SKU. Okay, based on the values of SKU. okay, I need to do lookup from my code list that I have defined in the SI, okay, and I need to fetch the values of the code list, and those values should need to be assigned in the output field of test 1, test 2 and test 3. How you will do it? Okay, so the requirement is, based on the value of SKU, you need to get the values from the SI code list, okay, based on the sender ID, and get those values, okay, get those values and assign it in the test 1, test 2 and test 3. So let's see here. Oh, we defined some code list, right? I think.
Yes, JP, we are hello world, I think.
Nothing is here. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, let's define a new code list. Map test. Next, okay. Then add values. Okay. Now, because values will be lookup or will be searched in this code list based on the SKU ID, right? So first SKU ID is 1, 2, 3, 4. So here is my sender ID. Receiver ID is mandatory field actually, and description is also mandatory field. And then text one is, say, suppose, just to make more sense, I am saying A1, A2, okay, A3, A4, A5. Say suppose these are the different values, okay. Value of second SKU is 222. This is my select criteria, okay, from this code list. So I have to do this. So sender ID will be SKU ID, SKU name. And then this is B1, B, B1, 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 okay. And our requirement says we need to get the values of text 1, text 2, text 3, text 4, text 5, text 6. Okay, I'm going to select only text 1, text 2, and text 3. Okay, but you can select any of these, right? Once you understand this concept. Okay, click on next and then click on finish. That's it. Okay, come to this map, and I need to define my extended rule here. Sorry, standard rule here. Select will remain same. I want to trading partner code list by sender code. Enter the name of the code list to use. So name of the code list is SI batch 3 map test. SI batch 3 map test. Okay. Sender ID equal to SKU. This is the first thing. Okay. My sender code will be searched based on the values in the SKU. Okay. And after that, value of text 1 should go in text 1, value of text 2, value of text 2 should go to text 2, value of text 3 should go to value of text 3. Okay, click on OK. Let me once check again if everything is selected. Sender is SKU, text 1 is text 2, text 2, and then that's it. Okay, sounds okay. Click on save. See, this is your A1, A2, A1, A2, A2, and then this is B1, B1, B1. This is what I think I entered in my code list, right? So if you want to get values from your code list in your map, then this is the way. This is how you can do it. Okay. Similarly, I mean, there are other receiver means if you want to make the search criteria as a receiver, then you can select that option, right? Where, I mean, it's like right now, I mean, the example that we saw, in that example, I said where sender code equal to SKU. Now, if you want to say where the receiver code equal to SKU, then you select this option. Okay. Then we have two more this tables, and one is the document envelope. Another is transaction register. You can use if you want to use. Okay. Now let's look at other standard rule, that is update. Okay, so now understand the update standard rule. Okay, so what happens in the update standard rule is we can update, okay, we can update some values from the map to SI process data or some other area. Okay, you made some calculation or you do something in math, right? And you want to store that value actually in the process data because you want to use that value in steps after the map editor, I mean the map translation, right? So if you want to do that, you can use the update standard rule. Okay, select the update, and then again you can select one of these option to make the update on the specific tables or in specific areas. So I'm going to show you how to use this process data thing. Okay, so select the process data, enter the X path to evaluate. Okay, enter the X path to evaluate. Okay, this is where you will enter the X path. Okay, now say suppose X path is SI batch test. So this is the tag in the process data that you want to create, and you want to store okay, you want to store value of SKU. That is why you are applying this standard rule on the SKU. Okay, That is why you are applying this standard rule on the SKU field, right? Because you want to store the value of SKU in the process data with tag name called the SI batch test2. Okay, so if you want to do this, click on OK, click on save, and then click on this. Oh, we need to go and look at here. Do you see anywhere? Ah, here it is. SI batch test2. Okay, so when the first record was processed, this was the value. Okay, when the second record is processed, this is the value. SI batch test2, SI batch test2, and these are your SKU values. Okay, so this is what you can do. Okay, with the update. Similarly, you can use the update to update the other areas as well. Okay, so friend, this is your yeah, go ahead.
JP, is this update that we can see output only in like
Process data. Only in the
yes.
process data. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's do one thing. Okay. So now let me show you how to check in that map, or checking some map that we have created or developed in the map editor in SI, so that we use it in the business process. Okay, how we do this? Click on the deployment. Okay, so as usual, guys. Okay, let me show you something here first. Deployment. Click on the maps. Okay, click on the maps. Check in new map from the map editor. Okay, this option. Click on go. Okay, so you need to click on the deployment, then maps, right? And then you need to click in the check-in. Okay, then you have as you can see here, it asks for the .map or .mxl file. It means your source, and then your compiled file means .txo file. Okay, and then you need to enter the comment, and that's it. So let's check in this map. So where this map is stored here. Okay, so I will copy this part from here. TXO is available here, I know, and this is the TXO file for my map. Okay, and I have explained you that TXO file is created when you compile the map. Okay, now I need the source code for this. Source map. Here it is. never select the dot back. This is the backup file you internally use by the map editor. You need sorry, you need the dot map file or dot mxl file. Okay, open, write some comment, click on OK, and then click on finish. Okay, so this is how you will check in your map in SI. Now say suppose you have a map in SI which is running in your production, but you have been given a requirement to update that map, right? So in that case, what you have to do, you have to first check out that map, right? You have to first check out that map, right? And once you check out, right, you will able to open that map in the map editor. So let's see how we do it. How we do that. What was the name of this map, guys? I forget. It's item master. Item master. Okay. Source. Click on the checkout. Okay. Okay. Click on the save. Save it somewhere in your local file system. Okay. So you need to know where your map is downloaded. Now you can migrate it wherever you want. Now to open an existing map, right, what you need to do is you need to click on the file, then click on open, go to the location where you have downloaded the map or where you copy pasted your map. Okay, select dot map file, open. So now you can see map is open, map is available, right? But you can see all the fields are not expanded. So if you want to expand all the fields, you need to click on the view and then click on the expand entire map. Okay, so this is how you will expand entire map. Okay, okay, let's write a business process. Okay, and we will process our map, right, with the business process. I mean, so far all your maps is processed by the or we tested all your map with the business process, but now we will write our own business process.
GP, GP,
Yeah.
small question. Can we use the standard rules into extended rule?
Some of, yes.
Okay.
Right. I mean, you can say, suppose you want to update some values in the process data or get some values from the process data, then there is the SQL kind of statements that you can write to do that, right? So like select asterisk or the values as this from the X path, right? So that there will be a way for you to write, update. I mean, whatever you can do in the standard rule with the standard rule, right? You can definitely do all those things, okay,
Okay.
through the standard rule. Okay, that is what we call the extended. So whatever you can do with the standard rule, you can do that, certainly do that with the extended rule. But
Okay.
there are few other things that you can do with the extended rule, but you cannot certainly do it with the standard rule. Okay. Okay, this is your translation service. Okay. Here we need to give the map name, and then my map name is item master. Okay. Other things are okay. Yes and no. We can select one of these values, but this will be based on the requirement output to the, and these will always have some default values, right? Like output to the process data. So it should be always yes, because we want to process data in the map, and that's it. Okay, so save. I need the process data, right? I mean, sorry, I need the primary document in the process data so that translation service use it. Invalid value for the parameter. Okay, which value is invalid? Output to process data specified with non-XML map. Okay. So these values are the one that I specified. This is only for the XML, only for the XML. Ah, okay. What is the error now? Invalid date. Invalid. Which one? Okay. So why this error is coming? Because if you remember, okay, I have to change the map. Okay. So why this error is coming? Because in the date, just to show him right, I change it to the YYY. Okay. Let me quickly do this. I will change my input file. Okay. Okay. Now you can see translation service ran successfully. So this is, if you want to do translation in your business process, then this is how you have to use this service.
Okay.
Okay. So if you see primary document is the same thing, same CSV file. Okay. Okay.